are, the 757 House Whisperer Show, coming to you live from Dominion Tower down here in Norfolk. We got a couple great announcements this week. If you guys have not been keeping up on Facebook Live, keeping up on what's going on in the 757 in contracting, we got a surprise for you this week. One of our visitors, co-hosts. But I want to introduce everybody. Albin with Albin Co. Remodeling Homes. Cindy Rawl with Alpha Pest Solutions. Jack Keller with Legacy Painting are our co-hosts of the show. And I'm going to let Justin introduce himself and his buddy.
I was about to say, do I get myself an old mic?
You do.
All right, so I'm Justin Murphy with Pyramid Roofing.
I don't want to give you too many words.
Well,
I didn't want you to forget.
You know what happened a couple weeks ago. But I'm Justin Murphy with Pyramid Roofing, gutters, and we also do repairs. I'm going to introduce Michael Davenport with CVP Windows and Doors. So with basically everybody on the show, if you just want open, honest, and just be, transparency with your contractors, give us a call. Let's get some calls in here and, just see what we can figure out for you.
So I created this show, kind of the founder of the show. The reason I came up with this show, they asked the expert about houses, the 757 House Whisperer, is because I wanted to get together a group of contractors that you guys in the 757 would have somebody that you could call in, ask questions about your house, problems with your house. There's from your gutters from your roofs, gutters, down to your crawl spaces. Everybody has questions on their house. Everybody has problems in their house. Nobody knows how to fix them. I've been doing this for 25 plus years, and I know Mike, we joke Mike about being long in the tooth. He's been doing it as long as I've been alive. So
back in the 30s or so?
Yeah, he was 20s, I think, But anyway, that was when he was born.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
That's right. Yeah, him and George Washington, right?
They go hand in hand, right?
So anyway, we kind of wanted to give you guys a way to be able to get honest, upfront questions and answers about your show. Not to sell you anything, but just to educate you on houses. We've all been doing this for, at least 20 years. Some of us as long as, Mike, 50-some years. But answering questions one at a time. We've been doing this, going into houses, answering questions about problems in your houses for one-on-one for years. And then I realized, man, by answering one question on a radio, I could literally help 100 people at the same time because everybody has that same question. We have very typical problems in the 757. Lots of humidity issues, lots of issues with the house, lots of roofing issues, moisture or whatever. So I just thought, man, if we come up with a show that our purpose is to come in and help people, it's going to bless us as well as bless you guys. So, and remember, when you call in and ask questions, you are literally helping 100 other people who are listening to the show. So, there's thousands listening, but there's 100 with that specific problem, right? Even if it's just one other person with that problem, it's a cool way to be able to help your friends. This is not a syndicated show, national syndicated show. This is a 757. We created this show for our homeowners in our backyards, right? From New Kent all the way to the Virginia line. I know Mike is expanding into Richmond and I think goes down a little bit in Carolina, but all of the people here, all of the contractors here that I just introduced to you are in the 757 area. So my surprise guest this week, some people may recognize him. He has been on the show more than one time. Not this show, since what, early 2000s?
Yeah, early 2000s.
Okay. So I'm going to let Mr. Jake Gildersleeve introduce himself and tell him what he does and come on in.
Hey, well, thanks for having me out here tonight. We're, really honored to be here. So anyway, we're been water well drilling business, third generation, been around since 1939 and offering plumbing, heating, and services early on, and then morphed into the water well drilling. So, and then geothermal became the next step in the line to where we went into the full scale.
The rumor was that you were actually born on a rig. That's the rumor, like a drilling rig, that you were actually born in that chair, in the seat. Is that true? Or is that just a rumor?
Yeah, we'll have to talk to mom. Have to talk to mom about that.
You've been doing well drilling for longer than a long time.
Yeah, about 55 years.
Yeah. So you and Mike are about the same age.
So this is only like the third or fourth
So you're close
day
to
or so,
70.
right? Yeah,
You're holding there pretty good, man.
He's trying to tell you got 30 more years of work in there, Justin.
My exit plan, I hope to retire before then.
Yes. Don't we all? So, you might wonder, well, Chuck, why would you bring in a competitor to your show that you have started? Me and Jake have combined. He has merged Gildersleeve, wells, pumps, and geothermal heating and air conditioning into the Worley's brand. So he has come on board. We have been friends for years, and he is looking for an exit strategy. And he said, Chuck, you're kind of long in the tooth too, but Chase is not 30 yet. He'll be 30 next month. So he'll be officially old next month.
That's when it starts, Chuck.
That's right. So kind of joining legacy companies. Jake is. I've told him this years ago. There is nobody on this planet of 757 that knows geothermal, knows wells, knows pumps like the knowledge in this guy. So I said the only way that we can make this happen, and you're not riding off into the sunset. You're not allowed. So you have to stay on board, do some training, get these young bucks, teach them how to do geothermal, teach them how to use the rig, and because there's some people in specialty businesses like wells, and so he could do like water wells and then geothermal wells, and there's just nothing about wells, pumps, and what was I thinking? Drilling wells, and isn't there another word? Wells, pumps, and
Geothermal.
Geothermal. Dang, I lost it. So there's
I'm
nobody
here to
that
help you.
knows.
I'm here to help you with that.
Don't
Chuck.
space now, Chuck. We're supposed to write this
I
down,
was
buddy.
I was jinxing you,
It gets
Justin.
worse as you get older, man. Come on now.
So this is the challenge that you have. Now, when I say I have a group of experts, your goal tonight is to stump the expert. So any questions, pumps, wells, geothermal, heating and air conditioning, geothermal, any kind of heating and air, there is no way that you can stump Jake and I. There's just no way on the planet. So call in with any questions about heating and air conditioning, electrical, plumbing, all that stuff. But I really want you to call in about any type of geothermal issues you've been having, rumors you've been hearing about geothermal. Is this true? What kind of rebates do they have? What kind of we have such a knowledge base on our team at Worley's now. I mean, the Gildersleeve name is synonymous with geothermal. There is nobody that a lot of times in the heating and air business, especially competitors, and I've got a lot of friendly competitors that are out there. But I've been doing this since 2001. I have never heard a bad word about Jake Gildersleeve. And I will tell you, in a trade or our industry, people talk smack on everybody.
All day.
All day
All
long.
day.
And and I feel like, hopefully, I feel the same way about me, that there might be people that don't like me, but they trust me and they know I do a good job. And they, if I get the job, they know I'm going to do a good job. But I feel like character and integrity in our industry it's not like the most popular things in our industry, but I feel like if you build a good business and you keep a good reputation, character and integrity and doing the right thing. And I know Jake and I have been doing that for years and years. And I feel like there's always somebody talking smack on somebody in our industry. And I just found it very cool when we started talking. I'm thinking back, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say anything bad about Jake. So anyway, I think the world of Jake, obviously, and I know he is one of the smartest guys in our industry, totally. So please call in. Geothermal, any issues with geothermal heating and air conditioning, please call in to the show tonight. So geothermal, and we got a lot to talk about with roofs today. And the reason we want to talk about it is because I was just telling Justin that I am spray foaming my roof deck, and he about went into a aneurysm.
Yeah,
and he had a nightmare show. So we're gonna see if it's the roofer or the spray foam guy making mistakes, right? So it's the roofer is always blaming the spray foam guy. The spray foam guy is always blaming the roofer. So I just want to let you know that I did not do this.
No, you didn't do it.
So
brother.
it's really important that we bring that up.
No,
It
sure.
wasn't me, you know? So because everything's about installation. Mike talks about this all the time. Window and glass don't leak.
Sure.
What leaks? The install.
Yeah, the install. Same
The
thing
install
with the roof.
leaks.
The install.
Same thing with the roof.
Yeah.
The shingles are not designed to leak
No.
when installed properly according to manufacturer specifications. And the one thing a roofer told me one time, this is 20 years ago, he goes, we want to make it so simple that we just put the directions on how to install it right on the packaging.
It's on the back of the
Like, you
package.
can't-
Every
like, you-
manufacturer.
Like a homeowner could do it if they, not
Well,
really. But you know what I mean?
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like written.
yeah.
It's not rocket science.
It's
but,
not.
But it is
It's-
hot up there.
It's
So- and hot.
hard, labor-intensive work, but it is not rocket science.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Call in geothermal questions. How much money can I save? How much? Is it better than solar? Is it not better? Like why do geothermal? Because we have the master and the king of geothermal heating and air conditioning with us. Looks like we got a caller already. Give them that number, 627-7979. That would help if I gave you the phone number to call in. So 627-7979. Call in, ask about geothermal, roofing, spray foaming. Me and Justin are going to get in a wrestling match about that later on this show. So let's go to Mr. Jeff.
Yes.
What's up, Mr. Jeff?
Yeah. My question is, it's hurricane season, and I can remember way back when that there was an interlocking type of roofing shingle that they would put on that was meant for high wind areas.
I remember
Do they
them.
still make that shingle?
No, that was
Or is
actually
there a spec-
that was actually called the T-locks. Those have been phased and gone out of the industry. But I will say a lot of the manufacturers, pretty much all the top three big guys, they've moved all the wind ratings up to 130 miles an hour. So if you've been, seeing on what that storm is doing down south, if we get 130 miles an hour through this area, I don't know what's going to be left of the area.
I mean, is the house going to be
That's
less? Like,
the roof might be 2 streets over, but
But it'll still be intact.
Right,
On your
right.
neighbor's house.
No, materials are just drastically better. But those shingles that you're actually talking about, those were called T-locks.
Yeah, like I said, I go back a few years on that one.
Okay, just a couple of days then.
Yeah, how many years ago was that? I remember the T-locks.
That was
15?
oh
Or
no
10?
no
Just
that was
10?
still in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was still in the 1900s.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that was as in 20 years ago.
Okay, yeah, 1900s. Oh, you got me.
The
You got me.
1990s.
Yeah, 1990s. yeah.
So I remember them advertising them somewhere in the 60s, but I don't.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I remember them advertising them somewhere in the 60s because we were having some pretty bad hurricanes back in the 60s around here, and I just re-roofed, and then all of a sudden this big hurricane hit in Florida, and I'm saying, well, I wondered, did I make a mistake? Was there a better type of shingle? Because I just last year put in a new shingles, and I was wondering, you say these are rated for 130?
You have an architectural version.
Yes.
Yeah, so all the architectural versions, they are, and it was just a couple of years ago, you said?
Just last year, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So absolutely, those are going to be 130 mile an hour wind rating.
Even the cheap ones now, how much are they rated?
Same
for now?
thing.
Okay,
all the
so 130.
all the manufacturers pretty much switched over. The biggest part to get that wind rating is you got to have 6 nails per shingle, which has been city code for forever. So as long as the manufacturer, or excuse me, not the manufacturer, but as long as the installer installed it per code, you are going to be fine.
That's a big question.
Okay, yeah, and I went with a brick home because I figured this plastic outer wrapper is not going to last in 130.
No, my house in and of itself is a one-story, just brick rancher.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you letting me know because I was really saying, did I make a mistake getting that interlocking shingle?
No, not at all. No, everybody's pretty much moved over to the architectural version. There are some higher wind ratings up to 150 miles an hour, but in my personal opinion, if we see 130, I don't know what's going to be left. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I haven't seen anything that high.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Well, I thought I'd throw a question out that you probably had not heard lately, at least.
Yeah, no, we appreciate every call. Absolutely. Like Chuck was saying, I mean, any question that calls in, it's not just helping one person, it's helping all the callers.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll send you out. We'll get your information. We'll send you out a thing. We normally send out like a coffee coupon for you for Starbucks or a local coffee house. So thanks for calling in. You're the reason we're doing the show.
Right.
So you go to break.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do that break.
All right.
We'll be right back, right here with 757 House Whisperer.
Whisper.
We'll be back.
All right, this is Chuck Worley again. I'm going to have Jake talk about the things that we do best now is wells and pumps.
Yeah, it's going to be a neat introduction for you guys, going into this part where we can now offer pump and well service, where people have drinking water systems, yard wells, geothermal supply pumps, and return wells. All these things are now you're able to offer for that service going through. In the drinking water world, especially, knowing that your system's reliable, we've been offering water service agreements. So these are available now where you can have us come out twice a year, check all the parameters around your pressure tank, your water pump, amp draws, and everything on it. It's the little things that cause the big problems with water systems. So catching the little things first, that's usually where we save the big dollars. And so having guys come out there and dig into it and check everything, it's it's really a convenient service to have, and we catch little things all the time, bad pressure switches, things like that just cause pumps to burn up. You can avoid that problem right away. But being able to offer this, and same thing for your geothermal system. If it's on an open well and you've got that pump sitting there running, as much as 12 to 15 hours a day sometimes, you better have a good look at it at least once a year, but we like to do it twice a year, come out, check everything, make sure it's working properly.
I mean, you don't want if it's not broke, don't fix it, because, when people ask us this, and I know they've asked you this for years, is when do I know my heat pump's going to break down? I said, when's your mother-in-law coming into town?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I'm not wrong.
That or the hottest or the coldest day of the year.
Absolutely.
That's where it is.
So I got a trivia question for you. Steve McQueen, when was he born and what was his best movie? We have a coffee coupon thing for you that we'll give you for anybody that calls in and answers our trivia question or just calls in and asks questions about your house. Please call in 627-7979. That is 627-7979. Steve McQueen's best movie and when was he born? That's our trivia questions for this week. Remember, we have a geothermal master here. Please call in and ask questions about geothermal. And, of course, we got the roof master, Mr. Justin with Pyramid Roofing. Please call in. And I think we're going to break. Yeah, we'll go to break. Yep.
We're right back.
All right. right, this is Chuck Worley with Worley's Home Services and the 757 House Whisperer Show. Wanted to introduce everybody again. We've got Jack Keller with Legacy Painting, Cindy Raw with Alpha Pest Solution, Albin with Albin Co. Remodeling Company, Mike Davenport with CVP Custom Vinyl Products and Windows and Doors, and then Justin, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, you got everybody. You ain't gonna just throw me in the loop with them? I'm Justin Murphy with Pyramid Roofing Gutters. Do want to say we are one of the few companies still offering repairs and honest, replacements. Our service area goes from up to Richmond down to the Carolina line. We will go out west, but Carsville, Franklin, that's pretty much as far west as we'll travel.
Sorry, I just had horses and horses and covered wagons. And you said we're going out west.
I'm about to say we're going to move out to Amish land.
How west are you going?
Westward bound here.
Is this Gold Rush west?
No. We'll stick. We like to stick mainly about an hour transit time around the Hampton Roads area.
Yeah, that's fair.
So.
And then Jake was on. While we were on break, we were kind of talking about some of the other things that we can offer customers. So go ahead and kind of go into the wells and stuff that we were talking about with the drinking wells. Damon had an issue with his wells, so we can
we can test your water quality. We don't do bacteria analysis. We do take samples and run those to the lab and get that approved for you. But people go out and do pump service a lot of times, and they will open your system up and put it back together again, and can contaminate everything. That's the one thing people don't realize. Once you open those pipes and put them back together again, you've opened it up to contamination. And so it goes on every day all around. There's tens of thousands of people on wells for drinking water still all around the Hampton Roads area. So, having your water tested just chemically, even to start off with, the parameters we run for pH, iron, hardness, salt, those things, and then test after your water treatment and see, okay, is the treatment doing what it's supposed to be doing? These are all things that we can analyze and find out what's going on there, as well as look at the mechanics of your pump system to make sure that everything is operating as it should be.
And Jake, you can also add all of those filters to the tap water that people get from the city because it's not all great throughout all of Hampton Roads, but you can make it pretty dang good, can't you?
Yeah, you can remove a lot of the chlorine and chloramine and things like that are in the city water. And so, there's definitely devices out there to do all of that.
Cool.
I want to remind you guys to call in 627-7979. That's 627-7979. Call in. You can answer our trivia question about Steve McQueen. You can call in and ask questions about pumps, wells. Like I said, you guys got a master here at Pumps and Wells and Geothermal. Call in, ask any questions. I know you guys got questions. Don't be shy. 627-7979. And like I said, we send you a gift card for a cup of coffee at Starbucks or a local coffee shop. So call in and ask any questions about the house. You want to talk about our spray foam and roofing situation?
I mean, we can get into it a little bit. That's fine with me.
Let's get into it. Because everybody knows I love spray foam. I'm spray foaming my house, which is what started this up last, it was probably a month ago.
Give or take.
Alvin's helping me do everything that I can't do. And he's doing this remodel for me and my fiance to fix our house up. And house is 1936. So when I say it's a wind tunnel, I mean it's not it's Swiss cheese.
That's good.
I'm not saying it's a NASA wind tunnel or NASA wind tunnel, but I'm just saying your hair will part when you're sitting in the house. Your hair will move just sitting on the couch.
Just slightly drafty.
Yeah, it's a little bit drafty, right? And I mean, we've actually got like a little second floor, it's not a room over the garage. It's like this
Loft-ish?
small attic. It's like you can't even stand up there. It's like if you were short, you could stand up there. So, but my fiance could stand up there.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So she's like 5 foot tall, so she can stand up there. So we were going to spray foam that. So when we have storage stuff, we can kind of store stuff up there, paintings or whatever that they don't get ruined.
You
So
store
the
candy
spray
canes
foam-
from last year.
Nah,
and they don't
I won't
turn
be
to
doing
mush?
that. Yeah, I will not be doing that. So wanted to spray foam that the roof deck on that. That's what got me started. And then literally we pulled all the sheetrock off my house. So we're walking through the house. I can see my chicken coop on the outside of my house.
It's always fun to see outside from inside.
Like not through the window.
Right. No, I know what you mean.
I mean through the wall. Like you can. It was made with 1x12, 1x14s, like.
Diagonal cut or?
Yeah, diagonal cut.
yeah,
diagonal cut. I was trying to think of that word. Thanks.
That's a fancy.
Thank God we got
That's
a young,
at Norfolk
young
Public
guy.
School
That's
there, buddy.
Right, that's right. So was that Lake Taylor or
No, that's Maury, buddy.
Maury.
That's Maury.
Yeah, Maury. So anyway, I'm walking through the house and I'm like, man, this is pretty cool that I can see my neighbor's house through every other slat. Oh, and I could really see it through the window, right? Because we got new windows with CVP windows and doors, right? So I don't just trust these guys on the show. I use them, right? So and I know everybody in contracting. I can use anybody, and I choose these guys. So anyway, I'm walking through. I'm like, I'm just gonna do a flash coat, is what we call it.
Okay.
A flash coat spray foam to stop the house from leaking, right? So we're doing that on all the walls. Everybody knows I hate bat insulation. I hate it.
You don't like
right?
itching?
I
Is
do
that what
not
you're
like
trying to tell
itching.
me?
I do not like itching. So flash coat, and then we're doing like rock wool, I think is the term, in between the sheetrock and that. So that's going in. Then he started talking to me about the attic, and of course we spray foam attics and all that. And then we started talking about, well, for X amount of dollars more, I can just spray foam the roof deck.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, I'm gonna do it. It's a new construction situation. I don't like doing it in a retrofit because it's just too many moving parts, too many. It's just not a good application. So anyway, but a new construction application or remodel application, I think it's a good thing. So we're gonna do it. So we're doing it. And then Justin sends me this picture of this nightmare where the wood had rotted out at the ridge vent. So I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, all right, how did that happen?
Right.
So now I'm looking at it and we're talking, and we realized that the roofer had already put a ridge vent in, and then the knucklehead spray foam guy, not me, spray foamed it and didn't seal the ridge vent.
Right.
So what happens to the ridge vent? Well, the ridge vent on a windy day, water comes in sideways, leaks down in through the ridge vent, and eventually, because the spray foam is going to stop the water from from moving around, it rotted out the ridge vent basically.
Yeah, probably.
right?
I would say probably a good 1.5 to 2 inches of the ridge pole, and then like the 2x8s that are up there are now like 2x6s.
Right.
Tops of them are just gone.
Right. So it goes back to windows don't leak, the installation of windows leak.
Yeah.
Right. When something's not done right, these products are made in factories, like they're made to work, right?
Yeah.
So windows, shingles are not designed to leak.
Sure.
Right. But installed improperly, they're going to leak. Well, it's the same thing with spray foam. If you don't seal stuff properly and you don't do the right thing, you don't take the extra time.
The steps.
Yeah. So and I say it to Jack all the time. So Jack, you have a $5,000 painter and a $10,000 painter. Well, that to me, the first thing I think of is that $10,000 guy. He's going to be prepping that wall for 2 days before he pulls his paint can out.
Yep.
Right. It's all about the prep, all about the preparation, all about the installation.
Mm-hmm.
His paint job's going to last 10, 12 years.
Right.
Not 2.
Exactly.
Not 18 months where you already see him paint flicking. Is that the right word? Paint flicking? Chipping. Yeah.
Come on.
Sorry, I had the wrong word, wrong letter. So
We'll go with flaking. How about
flaking. There you go. There you go.
I like
Thank
it.
you, Jake. Hey, thank you, Jake. Another old guy taking off for me. I appreciate that. So anyway, that's the difference. So the spray foam was not the wrong decision because it does make the house more energy efficient. I mean, it's going to be significant. I mean, I've had this 1936 farmhouse since 2003. I've had $400+ electric bills because it's a wind tunnel. I turn the heat on and
You're heating outside.
Thank God I'm a heat guy, so I had a really good heater in there, you know. But we actually went to we're putting mini splits in. I got 5 thermostats in my house, and I've got an air handler in the kitchen dining area, just like a 1-ton unit just for that area because all the glass and all the windows. And then I got one in my master bedroom that's up in the ceiling. It's called a cassette. Now I got one in my spare bed, like office. And then I've got one in our den. And then I've got one in our, we have a walk-in closet and bathroom, kind of all one. So 5 thermostats. I don't have to keep them all at, 70 degrees. I can, if I'm not in that side of the house or I'm not using the office, I could set those thermostats to whatever I want. Everything's Wi-Fi now, so we can actually set them, time them. So I am going to have a very, very energy efficient house.
And isn't there a tax credit on those Mitsubishis now too?
There is a tax credit on them. So.
And yes, it's
And we
not quite
install
as
those
good as
every day.
geothermal, but
It is not.
But it is a good
not.
tax credit.
It is not. So, yeah. So 627-7979. You got a few minutes left to call in about any geothermal wells or pump questions, and we're definitely going to bring Jake back because I know you guys must not be in the car today. So. Because I thought we'd get a lot more calls on wells and pumps.
I got a question, a geothermal question.
All right.
What's the tax credit? Because I know taxes, the current tax plan that we're all planning on filing, is due to end here in just a couple of months. But what
You pay your taxes?
well, just don't say that out loud. But what
Thought
are
you were
the-
off the grid. Thought you-
I know. Well, we still gotta pay our dues.
That's right,
Know?
that's right.
But what's the deal with the geothermal tax credits? Considering a geothermal system will last a lot longer, it'll save you money and efficiency bills. But what did we get back from Uncle Sam?
Yeah, they're giving you that full 30% tax
Still.
credit. Yeah, dollar for dollar. It's not a tax deduction; it's a tax credit. So it's dollar for dollar back into your pocket, and it puts it right down to where a high-end heat pump might land you.
Now, is that at the end of the bill? What if I need a new duct system and I need a new thermostat? Let's do a fancy thermostat, and maybe some dampeners added in there too.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to include all that stuff just to
All
get
right.
that tax credit out there.
Sweet. So the bigger the bill at the end of the day, the bigger the tax credit and the bigger the savings.
Yes, sirree. You get those savings right away.
There you go. Can't beat that with a stick. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
Is that because your wife beat you with a stick? Is
Well,
that, is
you
that why
know,
that comes to mind?
Public
Is that,
school, probably that comes back to mind first.
was that back to Norfolk? Or was that Maury too?
well, close enough. South Norfolk, Indian River, close enough. Yeah.
That's right. Oh, Indian River.
Oh, Indian River.
So, got a lot of 757 boys in here. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school at Lake Taylor, and then into the busing situation was going on. I wound up at a place called Eastern Academy.
I never heard
Is
of
that still
Yeah.
around?
No, they folded. After all the dust settled and all the original kids graduated, that place went away about, probably 10, 15 years later.
Okay.
Yeah, graduated valedictorian too, so
Did you really?
Yeah.
So out of 2 people that graduated that year,
Yeah.
You're the best.
so somebody said that was he was talking about some military school that's no longer in existence today. He was talking about, he's like, yeah, there's only 2 people in my class, and the guy said, well, look, you weren't even in the top 50% of your class. He's like, what in the world? There's only 2 of us. He goes, see? He's like, man, I wasn't even in the top 50% of my class. I was in the bottom. That was funny. But anyway, so thank you guys. Let's see, what else have we got? I got we're talking about the spray foam.
It's kind of a good point to bring up our recap of all the members of the 757 House Whisperer and how people can get in touch with any one of them, whether
let's do
it's
that.
the roofing issue or you got a plumbing issue, you need to build that addition, or you got cockroaches and ants in your house.
And remember, this is the only show that has a woman licensed to kill. Mm-hmm. That's Miss Cindy Rawl.
They haven't met
She
my
is
wife
with,
yet.
Is she actually licensed to kill, or is she just?
If you ask her,
Good.
yeah. We have a marriage license, so technically, death do us part.
You're right on it.
Well, that puts a lot of
Yeah, I don't know
I
if
was
you're
about to
sweating,
say,
but
yeah.
I'm sweating right now. Damn it. She doesn't listen to you anymore on the show. Is that?
Well, not on the show, or in person, it's questionable as well.
So we got Cindy Rawl. She owns Alpha Pest Solution. She is awesome, and she will jump underneath any crawl space. I was on a job with her a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was about a month ago, and I'm looking at that crawl space. I'm a 250-pound man. Crawl spaces and me are, we have this love-hate relationship. But she jumped in there, put the suit on, was underneath the daggone thing before I even took my glasses off,
Ready
my
for
sunglasses
business.
off. She is ready to go, man. So it is really cool. She is not scared of anything. I mean, she's under there. I mean, mice, rats, racket. She's not scared of any snakes.
She's a
ain't
better
scared of
man than
anything.
me.
She is a better man than both of us. But anyway, if you have any problems, pest control, she is your girl. She will definitely take it. The phone number to call in is 955. The fastest way to get hold of any of the callers in here is 955-9415. That's 9415. I'm going to do it again. 955-9415. And you can text that number, tell me who you need, and I will text them back, and I will get you in touch. But instead of calling out 6 different phone numbers, this is the number you need to call and text. 955-9415. It's a 757 House Whisperer. And you call in, you need any of our co-hosts, and I will get you to them fast. We have Mike Davenport, which I've told y'all, we've been friends for over 30 years. CVP, custom vinyl and products, windows and doors. He can make any kind of window, any kind of door. He just gave us an amazing deal on a front door, which I didn't know they could cost that much, but that was a beautiful door. I mean, it's not your Home Depot special.
Right.
This door is, I mean, it makes my Miss Julie happy, so it makes me happy. So,
I just put an order in with him too.
I mean, it's great. I mean, you know it's going to be right, or Mike will take care of it.
Right.
So he's awesome. Albin Co. Remodeling, new construction and remodeling. Y'all know I know 100 contractors, and I chose him.
Is that it?
I mean, at least.
I was just about to say, we all know each other one way or another too.
I have so many relationships, and you know, I've had to have a couple of difficult conversations about, you know, hey,
Right.
I'm using him.
Sure,
you know,
sure.
But it's cool. It looks like we got a caller. So Jack Keller with Legacy Painting, and I want to make sure I got it right.
Me.
And who's that other guy?
That's me.
All right, Justin Murphy. So with Pyramid Roofing. I was kidding.
I
saw
know
you.
it.
I saw you. All right, let's go to Susan. Miss Susan in Chesapeake.
I want to answer Steve McQueen.
You were under the wire. Yeah, so go ahead.
So we're going to talk about Bullet,
I
and
got
we're going to talk about Sand Pebbles.
Okay. I had a couple others. Shame and 12-year a slave. I don't remember that.
Oh, no, I don't
know
think
about
so.
I don't remember
Don't
that
beat
one.
my cards.
But I had to look that
anyway.
one up. So I tell y'all not to cheat. That doesn't mean I can't cheat. So I had to
I'm from Norfolk. I
haven't had
have to cheat.
because
Yeah.
I've watched them. He's
yeah, we're all from
Something
the three of us. Yeah, it's all three Norfolk boys.
and he was a really good actor. I'm so sorry what happened to him. I wish he was still around to get the cancer, and he had little things going on, but he was really good. If you have never seen that movie Bullet with his Mustang,
Oh
you need to
yeah,
watch
okay, I do remember that.
Yeah.
So do you remember how old he was?
I do not. I'm going to say he was probably 15 years older than I am. So I think he died in his 60s. So no, I can't give you that.
All right.
I never looked him up. I mean, this is out of my thing.
No, that's
just
fine.
watch the
I
movie.
mean, it had
Sand Pebbles was an awesome movie.
10/9/69. So October 9th, 69. That's what I was
Sorry, we
given.
missed.
I
he's
googled.
so-
I GTS'd it. I googled that stuff. So, but hey, how long
but
you
if you've
been?
not seen the
What city do you live in?
Chesapeake,
Chesapeake. How long you been in your house?
7 years.
7 years. Okay. Have you been thinking about any work that needs to be done to the house?
I might have your pest control lady come out.
All right.
Because I had a new roof put on when I moved in there and had an encapsulation done. But I haven't had an inspection here in the last several years.
Well, Miss Cindy will take care of you for sure.
Inspections are
tell
really
Cindy,
important.
give me a call.
Yeah, I will do that. Did you? I guess you gave your information to Mike.
I did.
Okay, so yeah, she'll probably give you a holler in the morning. So,
All right, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in, and we'll send you that gift card to the coffee house.
Watch those McQueen movies.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Bullet. All right. Thank you for calling in, Susan. All right. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining the show tonight, the 757 House Whisperers Show. We appreciate the callers. We appreciate calling in. Remember, next week we'll be here from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. answering your questions about problems in your house. The 757 House Whisperers Show. Thank you.
The preceding program was sponsored and paid for by Worley Home Services, who's entirely responsible for its content.